Hey, what's going on, brothers and sisters? Eric Rosen from Viking Rising Astrology. This is your Monday horoscope for December 9th, 2024. Thanks so much for being here. If you want to get that Destiny Tug of War special, learn what's happening for you next year, especially with those outer planets, shifting signs, links down below, as well as Pluto and Aquarius for your sign. And of course, as always, if you want to get a reading, you can click on that link down below as well. So here we are, Mercury retrograde season, Sag season. It's about expanding, but I would say it's also about collapsing the too muchness of things. This could be around negative beliefs, especially things that sting, that make your ego feel like you just want to spit nails at people. This is the type of astrology that you'll start to notice that this is like step one for the next split in the collective. During a Mars retrograde, you're going to see some people wanting to go to war, and that's their passion, metaphorically speaking. You know, people getting triggered, being at each other's throats. And then you're going to see others going, well, maybe we can take our ambitious nature to have more fun and be playful and see that there can be more humor in life and that we don't have to push so hard to get what we want, as that sun is going to be making aspects over to Chiron and Aries. And so I think that moon that was going through, Pisces taught us like that we can surrender more, we can let go more. This Pluto, Venus and Aquarius, I think, reminds us, there's going to be scattered value systems throughout the collective and communities of people. There's a bit of a shuffle up going on. This is definitely in relationships. And I almost forgot until I saw the vision of a knife in my vision this past 24 hours. But Mars retrograde is all about cutting things off too, like a knife. It's like eclipses, they kind of like disconnect things, and there's a little bit more of a God's essence to it. But Mars is a malefic, it's a warrior, it carries a blade with it. And so this is where things can feel rough. It's like, some people, it's like all of a sudden they're not at their job anymore, they're not in this relationship anymore. It's like anything that's not the perpetual updating, ascension, going into a better form of your value systems of what you can be. It's like, be all you can be in like God's divine army. If you're not being that, you can't enlist when you're codependent, hooked with someone or hooked on anything that you just have to have. This is about releasing our attachments that we think that it's actually giving us peace, and it's not. And it's actually finding the peace and not falling for that too muchness. It is Jupiter and fall in Gemini retrograde. And I think we can create positive trains of thought, as I've mentioned before, but it's not from a forced overwhelm of like, what's the story in my life? What's going to make it positive? It's like, well, it's already positive. We've got a lot of fire. We've got a lot of air. We've got, these basically masculine sign energies that things can still feel like they're moving forward, but it's on God's future timing of how he wants it and how it's all going to connect together. It's not going to be so much on our, wishy-washy, we're going to use our mantras and manifestation to make it happen faster. It's like, no, that's not going to happen. It's like, follow your gut, follow your intuition to the next moves. That they're hidden, they're unseen. We don't know fully, but it can be exciting, and we could be a self-starter, and we can fire others up too. And we can still learn to be kind during this time. It doesn't have to be some crazy, knockdown, drag out thing. It's like, I see it with people like Mars retrograde driving on the road. I've had like weird messages or comments from people on social media. It's usually from the masculine too, because that's very Mars retrograde. So don't be a motherfucker. Like Samuel L. Jackson needs to be the last person that we call off the bench to be the athlete that we put in of our sub-personas or parts of our ego to fight battles for us that just don't need to be fought. This is about relaxing. I've been channeling that we need to be very patient these next 3 to 5 weeks. It's like Mars retrograde in Leo. Don't be a spoiled child that's like, pissed that it's not Christmas yet, or that Christmas isn't going to go well. It's like, well, there's karmic elements to things. It's like things go well, based upon maintaining the simplicity of the beliefs, going in a positive direction and not giving up. Remember, Mars in retrograde in Leo is about not giving up and finding deeper levels of courage that's in our heart. And it's like, well, of course you have courage if you're still alive. It's like, there's plenty of movies of like that warrior or even king archetype or warrior king where it's like they're down to their last stand, but they find a way to rally. Or it's, you know, it's those Rocky moments. It's like being on the ropes. And the funny thing is, it's in the modern sense too, where it's like the ETs are probably looking at us being like, what are you guys tripping about? It's like being on the ropes about, you know, some little thing that didn't work out, like the randomness didn't go the way that we wanted to, the unpredictability with like a money situation, a relationship situation. You know, we're searching for that next, you know, what's going to make me happy next? And it's like, how about you, you know? How about you and just being you and you and you, and that's it. Not a relationship, not an attachment, right? The reason Mars retrograde is a knife that cuts things off is because it's going, wow, you've been really bandaging up this wound and it's like, it's festering with disease and I need to like amputate some things. And so that might sound extreme, but for people that just have not been reading the tea leaves in their life, that comes up, you know. For in other ways though, it's like cutting butter. It's smooth. It's going like, okay, yeah, I didn't want that anyway. Like, thanks Mars and Pluto and Aquarius. Like, thanks for letting me see through the examination lens of things, like what was easy to see that's not meant to go in my future. That's just not innovative. It's not fucking working. Let's see what we got card-wise today. Book that reading if you want to get one, or any of those links for the webinars if you just want to get like tidbits for next year. 10th house authority. You got to be a boss on a day like today, right? I forgot to mention, but it is the moon coming into Aries pretty much to start the day. So, you know, put up or shut up. Are you going to be a boss? Or are you going to be a victim with the moon coming in there with Chiron? It's time to get out of the tension that we've been in. This semi-square, quincunx, square, this is all like the negative aspects in astrology is what this represents. But it's in reverse, so it's like we're getting out of it. It's like getting out of that, like, I'd say probably 3D stuff that's been holding us down, that heaviness, that weight. Maybe it's been shown up in your central nervous system, your breathing, your eating habits, tension in relationships, conversations, things going well. So it's like being a boss is like the captain is coolest. You know, when the storm hits the hardest, it's not about being tense. North Node card reverse. I think our future's on hold a little bit, and that's okay. I mean, we started with a new moon in Sag, square Saturn, and so, you know, this isn't about trying to like fast forward to like the next picture. It's like, how about we just learn to be autonomous and be solid in ourselves, that we become unshakable, unfuckable with, that it's like, it doesn't matter if, you know, things are moving forward the way that our ego wants it to. It's like, if you're not carrying a bunch of dis-ease in the body, you're not at ease, right? Like, your intention, but it's like, don't be in that, and be solid in that authority figure. And I think it'll go well. So yeah, so, you know, it's a good day too, I think, to explore things. I'll pull one more card. Yeah, I was asking, you know, do we need to explore something that we've been maybe weighing out, you know, just because I know it's South Node in Libra, and it's like, sometimes we want something to move forward. Do we need to like make a move? And it's like, no, Venus, the ruler of Libra, in reverse. So it's like, nope, not our value systems. Don't need to go do that. I think this is about towing the line, very spiritually, very metaphysically. This is about ascending over old beliefs that we've gotten trapped in for so long, that we've identified with our ego. And it's like, now we're just causing our own pain and karmic suffering emotionally, and we don't have to do that anymore. And this could especially come up from beliefs handed down from in the ancestral line of things, but regardless where it's coming from, it's just like, nope, this has got to go, this has got to go. And just have love and compassion, keep the heart open, right? That Mars can really open the heart in that pretty easy, smooth like butter type way, but we have to be willing, we have to assert that it's about, it's a cliche maybe, but it's about letting the heart lead, not the ego. I love you all. See you next time.